What's going on, everybody? So I'm in my new car. It finally got here. It was a car that I purchased through Vroom, and I'm gonna walk you guys kind of through the process of what all it took to get it. And we'll just walk through everything real quick, just so you guys know if you guys are in the same boat that I was in. You guys are purchasing it, and you forgot to look at the reviews, and then you ended up looking at the reviews, and then um, you were kind of like, oh crap, what did I do? You started worrying like I did. Um, don't worry, it's pretty legit. The biggest thing I would say before I even start the actual video and the review process, would be just you got to be patient. That's my biggest thing. And if you're a car person like me and you're very excited about your purchase, and especially because you drop a lot of money, and you know there's a lot of variables that go into it, whatever your financial situation might be. But yeah, you just got to be patient, and you have to be proactive. I'll explain why in a minute, but yeah, you got to be on your toes, you got to do your research, and yeah, pretty much let's get started. All right, so I'll start off with the buying process. So I was looking at a vehicle. I had been eyeing it for a couple weeks, and I kind of said to myself, if it's still there at this time, I'm gonna buy it. So it was. I applied for it. I got a pretty good deal. I ended up financing through them, like I said, because the deal was pretty good. And if you find that their whatever deal they're giving you, their APR or whatever isn't good, even if you have good credit, because I have heard some people that have excellent credit but their APR is like 5-6%, which is kind of crazy. um, you can finance through your own bank or go through a credit union of your choosing. From what I've seen kind of online is that sometimes is a little more, the process is, for some people I've seen it got delayed. Like if you finance through, for example, let's say you finance through your bank, they cut you a check and then you have to overnight it to them. I've seen a lot of times where people, their checks get lost, um, or it says it's been delivered but they haven't confirmed. um, what I did is I let's go to, so my first date, I started on the 23rd of June. Today is the, give me one second, today is the 5th of July. So that's my timeline, 23rd June to the 5th of July. So I actually started on the 22nd was when I started my paperwork. And so I got a hold of a specialist. I asked them, I just talked to them, hey, I'm interested in this car. What can you guys do for me? Let's talk. So we went from there, and then she asked me pretty quick. She was like, hey, okay, do you want it? We need 500 down to put the vehicle on hold. So I was like, all right, let's do it, because I really wanted the car. And so that went through, paid the money, she put it on hold. She later then said, hey, okay, I'm going to send you guys some documents for you to sign. I wasn't expecting those for like another day, because it was kind of towards the end of the business day. I think it was, I'm in California, I think the business is in Texas. So it was 4 o'clock for me, roughly 4:30. She ended up sending the paperwork like 10 minutes later, and it's the DocuSign. So it's basically your contract. So you go over it, make sure when you're going through this contract, you're reading it right. You don't want to get, I know it's exciting, but you need to read it. Make sure, because there is a lot of stuff, I'll explain it in a minute, that I'm doing right now that you got to go through. So make sure you read your stuff, because especially if your car is coming from out of state, whatever state you're in, every state has different smog laws and stuff like that. So make sure you read it. So okay, so I signed it, boom, sent it back. I believe, I don't remember if I got the email that day that they received it. I think I did. It was like later that night that it was approved. So then she calls me back. I believe it was the next day. So now we're in the 23rd of June. So she calls me back. She said, all right, hey, I got your paperwork. It's been approved. Your loan's been approved. We're gonna overnight you some, basically the same documents plus the title, and I believe it was a power of attorney. So the power of attorney, my vehicle, I believe, came from Utah, and like I said, I'm in California. The company's in Texas. So the power of attorney, basically, you got to read it. Like I said, it basically says you're giving Vroom the legal right to register your car. I'm in California, cars in tech, or the companies in Texas, cars in Utah. You're giving them the legal right to register your car in Texas so they can later register it for you for your state. Like I said, there's more process to this. So, signed that, signed all the other documents. I got them. I think they came through FedEx. Like I said, the 23rd, which was the next day, around noon. I got home from work around 4:30. I just made the cutoff. They didn't get sent till the next day, but I went that night before the FedEx store closed. I threw them in the envelope. So they send you the whole packet. It's a big packet. Make sure you read it. Again, make sure you read it. I sent the packet back that night. And then also, that's when she called me to tell me that she was going to send me the packet. I had asked about if I can make the down payment, and she said you could either make it now or you can make it when the packet arrives. So I was like, I'll just make it now. Let's just cut all the fluff. Let's do this. I was ready. So I sent in the down payment, and the next day, which was Thursday, the 24th, on my side, so my bank approved it. It had already gone through. I went on their website because you got to create a profile on Vroom. It still said pending. It hadn't been processed. Pretty much after I sent the documents back with the titles and everything, and I sent the down payment, after that point, nobody really called me or, told me anything. So at that point, I had a call, and that's when I started to get worried. That's when I started looking at the reviews. I started with YouTube, and I saw a few videos of people, getting their cars, what the process was. And so I went on Reddit, started seeing more posts and like bad reviews, and it was kind of mixed. So I started getting worried, and because, they had my money, they had, basically the car, they had the title for the car that I signed over. So I was like, crap, like I started getting worried. It's a lot of money. The car's expensive. Yeah, I'm in California, the car's not. So, so that Thursday didn't get any word. Friday didn't get any word. I believe I called them Saturday and just try to see what was going on. And I didn't speak to the original sales manager, but I spoke to somebody else, and they were like, okay, no, your stuff is good, everything's processed. Even though on my profile on Vroom, it said it was still pending the payment, but she said it was all good. So I was like, all right. I was like, I'm just calling because it says it hasn't processed, and my bank already sent it through or approved it. So she assured me that it was fine. So I was like, all right, took them at their word. And then now we're into Monday. It was still kind of no word. Nobody had said anything. So I called them up again. And they later sent me an email saying, congrats, your car has been sold. And basically the person that I talked to said the same thing. It was sold. She said it was actually sold on the 23rd. That's the day that everything went through. So I was like, all right, cool. And she said, yeah, you should be getting an email on, your delivery date. So I think the original delivery date was the 5th of July, which was, I think, today. Yeah, today, Monday. So, so I was like, all right, cool. After that, nobody, like I said, there was no contact from Vroom. They said I should be expecting a call from the carrier. There was no contact. And like I said, I was going on online on Reddit is where I found my carrier because nobody had said anything. And randomly, I just, on a random post, my carrier ended up being United Road. And I kind of got lucky. So if you're in the same case, if you're, your purchase is already done, you paid everything, you signed everything, and you got the woohoo, the congratulations email, your car's been sold. At this point, it's a good idea. Make sure you have your VIN number. Make sure also, let me go back real quick. When you're signing your papers, make sure it's the correct VIN. because some people I've seen that got the wrong vehicle. In my case, I got the right one. I'm in my Subaru. It's a red one. Freaking dope. Oh my God, I love this car. So yeah, so make sure the VIN is right. The model. In my case, so this is an STI. For whatever reason, the way they categorize it, it categorizes that as a WRX. So I was kind of worried about that. I was like, oh crap, these fools are gonna send me the wrong model, and then I'm gonna have to ship it back, and but whatever. It got here. It was like I said, the VIN. Make sure you guys got the VIN right, because if the VIN is right, even if your model says, it might say something else, just because that's how Subaru does it for whatever reason. I think it's even titled as a WRX. I don't know. I think it's titled. I haven't got my title yet, so like I said, it's my second or third day with the car. But anyways, so yeah, so I ended up finding, I just clicked on a random shipping company, and like I said, it was United Road. I haven't tried any other ones. That was the first one I tried, and like I said, I got lucky with that one because that was my actual carrier, or my dispatch people, whatever. They contract carriers out, so it won't be United Road delivering your stuff. It'll be somebody that's contracted, and I'll get to that in a minute. So okay, so I like I said, I went on the website, and I went on their search button. I put my VIN in, and a bunch of stuff came up. So well, like three things came up. So it said basically in Utah, it was at a Utah Subaru dealership. And from there it went to, I believe, Tracy, California, which is in the northern part of California, I guess. I don't know, somewhere up there. So it was up there, and it had been there, I believe, total time it sat there was for about a week, from the moment I noticed it was there. And then the next line was, from Tracy, California to me, was a delivery. So I made a profile through United Road. You can make a profile. You just use your email. I believe, your name, your phone number, stuff like that. You input your VIN, and it associates it to you. So I sent them an email. I was like, hey, I'm just trying to find out, what the delivery time is, if it's still going to be, whatever day you guys said, because I want to make sure I'm home. So they emailed me back, and they were like, yeah, actually, we're going to deliver it on a Friday. So that was this last Friday. They're like, oh, cool. So that's a little earlier than I expected it. So Thursday came along, and I was like, hey, I emailed them again. I was like, hey, I'm taking tomorrow off. I want to make sure the car's still coming in tomorrow. They were like, yeah, it's coming in tomorrow. The driver should get a hold of you today. At some point, it's getting picked up. And once you make your profile on that website, and you log into your profile, you put your VIN in, you hit search, it tells you, it has like your vehicle, your make, model, the weight. It says like your name, your destination, and then it'll give you a status. So it'll say like, pending pickup, or, whatever. So that had been ready, I believe, since the 25th. It had been sitting in Tracy. This is June 25th. So I was like, all right, cool. So I waited all day. After I got off work, I waited Thursday, no call. Next morning, like I said, I had the day off. I waited for a couple hours because it said the vehicle should be here by 12 noontime. So I was like, all right, 11 o'clock. Hey, dude hasn't called me. So I messaged them back, and they're like, okay, actually, it's not going to get delivered today. It'll be picked up on Saturday and possibly delivered Monday. So today. So I was like, all right, well, luckily I have Monday off. So I'll be here right on. So then, I waited around, and then because I was impatient, like I said, you got to be patient. I logged back into my United Road account, and I had seen that the vehicle had got picked up on Saturday, and I was like, okay, cool. It's loaded, it's picked up, it's loaded. Literally like maybe 30 minutes after I checked that, the driver calls me, and he's like, hey, this is your driver. I'm delivering your car. Basically, can you tell me what it is? I was like, yeah, it's Subaru, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right, sweet. He's like, I'll see you in a few hours. He's like, I'm not leaving here till about 12. And from there to here, it's about a 6-hour drive. He's like, yeah, I should be there around 6. I'll give you a call, about an hour before I get there. I was like, all right, sweet. I'll be here. He had asked me actually if I could take the delivery that day, which was Saturday, the day of pickup. Yeah, totally. Hell yeah. So, so I'm waiting around like super anxious. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm getting my car today. Um, 6 o'clock rolls around, it doesn't call. Then it's about 6:30. He's like, hey, I'm about an hour late. Is that cool? I was like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, we're home all day. We're not doing anything. Just, take your time. The car was coming to me. So it was about just past 8 o'clock. Um, I get the call. He's like, hey, I can't access your because I live in a gated community. He's like, I can't access your driveway. Can you meet me on a side street? I was like, cool. So he was like, literally like, a 2-minute walk from where I was at. Um, and the vehicle that dropped it off wasn't a big. Mine wasn't a big semi. Like I said, they contract other drivers out. It was just a dually with a big ass like a flatbed carry-on trailer. It had another vehicle on there. He wrote it off. I inspected. So when you receive your car, um, kick your tires, check your brakes, check the interior. I got mine, like I said, it was 8 o'clock, so it was a little bit dark. Um, but like, so Vroom gives you that 7 day, 250 mile, grace period. Um, and you need to make sure you do your checks. Take it to a mechanic. So today, I'm taking it to a mechanic. Somebody you trust. Get a multi-point inspection. Multi-point inspection. That's what you want to do. So they'll check your brakes, they'll check your fluids, they'll check your engine, your tires, your exhaust, your interior. Make sure your wipers are good. Everything. So I believe you'll have to pay out of pocket for that. I don't think Vroom will compensate you, but I did call them because this car had a couple little defects on the inside that weren't listed in the pictures. Outside is immaculate. It's freaking Gucci. The interior, like I said, it's really getting nice. It just had a couple things, a couple scratches on the interior. So I called them up this morning right before I made this video. I made a ticket. Within 24 hours, they should send me an email. She said on instructions on what to do. Um, and then just take pictures, document everything. Don't if they didn't list it in their photos, you need to make sure you take pictures of your stuff, especially if you're buying an older vehicle. This is a newer one, but if you're buying an older vehicle, higher miles, you definitely want to take it to a mechanic. I know it sucks that you just spent a lot of money and it's something that you trust that they would do. Um, but still, peace of mind. You don't want your check engine light to come on later. You don't want anything to happen, especially after your 7 day grace period. Make sure you do what you need to do, get it done, take it to a mechanic. At that point, if it needs any sort of maintenance, call Vroom. Be like, hey, they told me it needs an oil change, it needs to be topped off fluids, whatever it needs. Call them. I haven't got to that point in my, because I'm taking it today. But call them and make sure, they're going to pay for it because it's something that should have already come with the car. The car, And then also I saw some people that had an empty tank. They, called them up. Hey, my car was empty, and they were reimbursed. Mine had it was about half, so it's not a big deal. Um, so back to the Vroom process. So they did send me an email about a day before the car came, but it had nothing to do with the car coming. It had to do with the titles. So it was the email that says, you need to because I'm in California, and like I said, the car's out of state. You need to do an original VIN inspection. So an original VIN inspection, they're just making sure that it's your car. This is the car that they sold you. The VIN matches, what's going to go on your title, so you can register it. So the VIN inspection should be free. In California, I know you can do it at an authorized place that is authorized to do VIN inspections. You can do it at the DMV, or you can go to the CHP. The CHP is closed today. I think the DMV is closed today, so that's gonna have to wait till tomorrow for me. But yeah, the CHP, I believe it's free. The next part of that email said I have to do a smog check. You'd think they'd be able to do that, but the way California works is they don't accept out-of-state smog checks, so you have to do it in-state, because California is the way it is with emissions. So luckily this car's stock. It should pass. There's nothing wrong with it because I haven't taken it to the dealer yet, but so there's there's nothing wrong with it. So that's the smog check will come out of pocket for you. So you're gonna have to pay for it. In California, it's like $50. So once you do all that, in the email, there's a link, and they have a FedEx tracking thing, shipping label. So you're gonna ship that back to them. I don't know if it's overnighted, but once you get those two things done, the smog, I don't believe has to be the original copy, but just send them the original copy, and maybe make a copy for yourself just to be safe. And then also the VIN inspection has to be the original. It tells you in the email, it has to be the original copy, but I would say make copies of those for yourself, or at least take a picture of it with your phone, just so you have your own records of it. Keep all your receipts. And the vehicle, when it comes to you, it comes with dealer plates. These are good for 60 days. I think till August 20 something, 23rd. So keep those on there. Don't take them off. And then in the glove box, it does come with a little paper saying basically this is your temporary like title registration type thing. So I'm also going to go to my insurance company, get this thing insured. And I believe I'm going to try to use that paper. We'll see if it works. I'll post it in the comments if they're not, if anything happens with it, but I'm going to use that, get this thing insured, so we can start driving it without any worries. I did purchase with this vehicle the gap insurance. Not going to go into that, but it's my own thing. It wasn't, didn't add a whole lot to my payments, so it just for peace of mind. I always get gap insurance when I finance vehicles. It's just kind of smart. So that's pretty much where we're at. If you guys have any questions on any part of the process, like I said, it's all different. Some people I've heard have been waiting for their cars for a long time, and their first payment's coming up and they have no car. That's kind of crappy, because how are you going to pay for a car that you don't have? Luckily for me, I got the car. My payment's not due till next month. But so yeah, a lot of it is just, you got to be proactive. You got to be bugging people. I was blowing up the phone of United Road. I didn't really call Vroom. I called them a couple times. The funny thing is, so I called them it was this last Friday, and actually Vroom called me, and they were like, hey, we saw that you sent us an email. You were asking about whether your car's going to be delivered or not. The lady at Vroom was like, yeah, it's going to be delivered today. And I was like, what? No. I was like, freaking United Road, the shipping company, said it's not coming till tomorrow. It's not getting picked up till tomorrow. It's not coming till Monday. And she said, oh, wait, let me double check. And so she calls me, or she puts me on hold for like a couple minutes, and then she gets back on the phone. She's like, oh yeah, I got that email. Like, dude, like, they don't talk to each other. Basically, as soon as you're able to find your shipping company, that will be the more reliable source. I don't know what goes on between the time your vehicle's sold and when it leaves, because Vroom is like, they don't talk to each other, because in an email from United Road, they said it was on Vroom when it gets delivered. But then Vroom, like I said, when she called me, she's like, oh yeah, it's on United Road. So there's no communication there. So you have to be proactive, be on your stuff, and make sure you got to push them. You got to push people to do their job sometimes. So it kind of sucks that it's that way, but I mean, if you want your car, you got to do what you got to do. Especially, like I said, if you already paid for it, they got your title, they got your car. There's 3 things they got that you don't have. So if you want to get your car, you want to get your title, and you want to get your money's worth, be proactive. Make sure you call them. And let me show you guys real quick. So see if I can get it. So it's pretty clean. It's a little dusty, but so this car came a little it was a little dusty on the inside, not bad. It was actually pretty clean. It looks like somebody tried to buff it, but just if it comes really dirty, take it to a detail shop or whatever, and just get it detailed, and then send them the bill. I believe they cover up to like $100. Don't quote me on that. You might have to do some research. But I would call them before, say, hey, the car came in really dirty. It was, blah, blah, blah. And have them, pay for it, because it should come clean. And it should come with the full tank of gas. That's just me. But for sure, like I said, as soon as you receive your car, even if it's at night, kick the tires, start it up, take it for a spin, try to get it to highway speeds right away. Make sure nothing, make sure all your fluids are good, like as much as you can. At least, at the very least, check your oil. Check your oil. Obviously, whatever fluids you can physically see, make sure those levels are good. And in my case, one of the back rotors has a groove, so that's something I gotta take care of today. But other than that, the car's clean. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. And I was trying to keep this thing short, but it's a lot to cover. Just hit me up in the comments, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. Hope you guys have a smooth process, and just be patient, be proactive. Catch you guys later.